Testing. Okay, we're good. Can y'all hear me? I'm sorry, I'm not too well equipped. I'm not too well equipped with the technology, but my buddy Aakaash, he had a prior commitment. Not a prior commitment. It kind of came up just now, and he asked me to fill in. So my name is Billy Ray Tucker. I am a horse farmer from down yonder, and I like to play some chess. So he asked me to fill in, and we're going to do that. I see people are in the chat. Welcome, welcome. So, by profession, by trade, I happen to be a horse farmer. And so, how does that play out on the chessboard, you might ask? Good question. Well, the way that plays out is I like my horses, and I tend to prefer knights over bishops. They are called knights in the literature, but I prefer to call them horses because I got an intimate relationship with my horses. I breed stallions for racing, so it's kind of an emotional endeavor for someone like me. Not a horsey farmer, although I do have quite affection for the horsey chess set, but not quite a horsey farmer, a horse farmer. You know, we ain't playing around. We ain't playing around in this part of town. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that much, easy peasy. So bishop to d3, we kind of have some cramping of the styles, but it's maybe we'll just cramp his style too. Let's try to close up this center. e5. I wonder if he learned this move. This is an advanced move. This en passant, as they say. I learned it kind of late in my chess career, if I'm gonna be quite frank. So horsey, horse to d7, the b horse to d7. We're trying to put it over here and maybe do something on the king side like g5, and then the horse comes into g6 and h4. Ain't that something? Well, if the creek don't rise, then we should be all good. King to h7. Gotta protect this. Gotta protect the pawn on h6. En passant. En passant. Nick P12 says that the twang in my voice scares him. I ain't trying to be scary. I'm just, you know, y'all used to Aakaash, but you ain't seen no Billy Ray Tucker. Not horsey to g4. I should probably say knight, but I'm so accustomed to calling it a horse. So we're gonna try to stick to that. We're gonna try to play to our roots. Do I watch Tucker Carlson? I actually do not have a television set in my premises. I'm pretty new to this technology type of thing, and for what it's worth, I do got a computer. So you know, I've been on Lichess, and I can say without a doubt that Lichess is quite good, quite a lot good. Bishop to g3, trying to prevent the horse from coming into f4. I'm trying to just graze on a pasture here, but Nick P12 got some different. He's got some different plans. He ain't trying to go down to the rodeo. So knight to h2. I guess, are we gonna have to give up one of our horses? We give up one, but we get one of these. We get one of these, and we might be giving up two. If we give up two, we give up two. Oh, wow. Queen to f2. Quite the enterprising individual we got here. Knight to g6. I guess we're gonna have a party. We're gonna have a party. Ain't he precious? Queen takes e7. Rook takes e7. I'm gonna move my rook to g8. Actually, but bishop to h5 is quite the something. So we gonna play knight to h8. You know, I do like my horses, and all I can tell you is a horse on the rim is quite grim, but it's all about maintaining the horses. Queen to g5. Let's see if he wants to do the do-si-do. Rook to f8. Knight to e2. Let's bring the king in and then get this horse in. Ain't no more horsing around at this point. We had g4, but we still have g4. And the king's coming into g5. If you are a farmer, you need to be prepared to protect your livestock. Takes, takes, takes. And we double up on the f file. Bishop to g4. Let's just play with some sense of activity. And that, I believe, is a checkmate. Good game, Nick P12. Good game. Yeehaw. That's what I like to say. Welcome to everybody. You might be here waiting for Aakaash to come, but Aakaash had something come up, so we got Billy Ray here. My name's Billy Ray Tucker. Okay. So, if anyone wants to play a game, do the exclamation mark challenge in the chat, and we can have this dance. Okay, so we got Aakaash Meduri. Good luck. And as I said, I do like the horses, so horse to f3. Horse to f3, and let's see what he does. What's up, Ladnayana? What's up, Wix? Nix? Good game, buddy. Alhonas? Yeah, this is a Billy stream. Pawn to c4. Let's see how he responds. We got a 3+2 game. It's rated, so, you know, Aakaash might not be too happy if I lose some rating points on his account, but I think we'll manage. We got an exchange Slav. I know he ain't a big fan of the exchange Slav, but it's primarily from the black side of the exchange Slav. The black side of the exchange Slav is quite the predicament. I think that's a word, predicament. E3, pawn to e3, pawn to e6. You can't just play like this, because knight to b5 presents some problems, I believe. I haven't read modern chess openings or Batsford chess openings in quite a minute, but as they say, as the kids say nowadays, knight to b5. How are we going to deal with this c7 square? Top shelf moonshot. So not to b5. Maybe there's something to his position with like queen to a5, bishop, knight here, bishop to b4. Maybe I underestimated the resources that black has in this position. It's possible. Won't be the first time, won't be the last, I can tell you that much. Knight to d2. Knight to d2 and a bishop to b4. I'm thinking pawn to f3 to prevent the knight from coming into e4. Oh, my apologies. I mean the horse to e4. Rook to c8. He's protecting against knight to c7. This one plays quite well. Pawn to a3 though. Let's present the predicament of going into b4. So pawn to a6, pawn to b4, queen to b6, horse to c3. not so good. So I'm going to play this. What's my shampoo? You think I have shampoo? It's all conditioner here, baby. Horse to e4. You're right. There ain't no such thing as a knight, except when the sun goes down. That's what a knight is. So horse to e4. He knows I'm a horse farmer. He knows I'm sensitive to these kind of moves. So I'm going to play horse from the D file, takes horse on the E file, and bishop takes E4. Let's go F3 so we can ease in the load of that bishop on F1, and then perhaps we play this. I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to try it. Horse shampoo like mane and tail, right? Dragon 5 breath. Mane and tail is I recommend it. I actually bathe my horses in mane and tail. If anyone's familiar with that brand of shampoo. Queen to D2. We got to protect these two squares, and also the geometry of the knight and the queen. You want to separate them like that. If you want your pretty lady to not get harassed by some horses of a particular temperament, you play it like that. So pawn to b4. Now we can defend the rook on a1, so he ain't taking on b4. So queen to d8. We're going to play knight to a4. Perhaps we play knight to c5. Ain't no guarantees here, you know. That would be too big for my britches. I ain't a man of guarantees. And pawn to b5. I guess I'm really... You know what? I said I'm a man of my horses, and I am a man of my horses. We ain't going to c5. We're going to b2 and then d3. Keep an eye out on his position. I could pass as Australian, you know. I ain't been down yonder, but I've gotten that before, Julian. How's it going, Julian? I've seen you around at some tournaments. I don't play as much as Aakaash does, but I've seen you around. I occasionally make an appearance. So pawn to f6, going pawn to e5. We're going to play rook here or rook here. I think this rook is better, just in case there's some problems with pawn on a3. And pawn to e5, we just take. So bishop to d6. Okay. He's basically asking for us to get our knight to c5 at this point. And you know what? Mama always said, if you don't put a horse on an outpost, that horse gonna be madder than a wet hen. Knight to c5. Knight to e7. And, kind of a tricky position for sure. This ain't so easy. Our opponent's playing some good moves. How are we going to proceed here? We going to play knight to b7? Probably not that useful. Not that productive. I'm still going to play it. Let's see what he do. Howdy, partner. CL Smith 15. I know I've seen you on Aakaash's stream before. I've seen you. CL's good people. He's good people. Horse to c5. You're right. I'm messing up my terminologies. Horse to c5 again, and then potentially horse to d7. And if rook to c8, maybe we just do this for fun. Let's see what he wants to do. How's it going, B-Baller Fan 33? This is actually not Aakaash. This is Billy Ray Tucker. I have my name. My teacher always told me you put your name at the top of the piece of paper. So that's what I did before I got on this stream. Queen to c2. We got to protect that f5 square. Queen to f4. Queen to f4. Okay. If we play horse to e6, that would be a horse gone, because queen to e3. So we're going to play this kind of passive looking move. It's not the move that makes my heart flutter too much. That would be Beulah, my wife. She makes my heart flutter a lot. Quite something that Southern Belle is. So we're going to play G3. And then we're going to reevaluate our life. And I believe we could take here, takes. It's going to be quite the dance. And if knight to c2, we take here. And yep, we take there. And I believe we are up, as they say in Russia, Mother Russia. I believe it's a pieshka. That's what they call it, pieshka. Floyd. How's it going, Floyd? Actually, this is not Aakaash. This is Billy Ray Tucker. So we're going to play king to c3, king to e5, and then we march this guy all the way up the board. And actually, before we do that, we might as well cash in. My mama always told me, don't count your chickens till the eggs hatch. Don't count your chickens till the eggs hatch. King to c4, pawn to b5. We'll just have our way at this point. King to c6, pawn to b6. King takes a6, pawn to b7. And you know what? I believe that Aakaash has the wrong settings. We are going to change them real quick. Game behavior. Always queen when pre-moving. So we changed that. We are not making a queen today. We're making a horse. We are making a horse. And some people might say that this would be horsing around, but I say it's playing with passion, playing with fire. Not horse to e7, horse to g8. King to e7. Pawn to f4 may be a little bit annoying, but we take here. That horse is out of the pasture? No, that horse is at home, I tell you. This particular horse's name is Stanley. And Stanley's a horse of passion, a horse of fury. And I believe, you know, they always told me that 2 horses couldn't checkmate a king alone. But how about 3 horses? I am not aware of a rule that says 3 horses can't checkmate. And we're going to test this out. I mean, I have not studied my Dvoretsky in a long time. It's been quite a while, but I'm just, you know, I'm a fan of horses. This is horse season. And I believe, I actually don't know. I'm just spitballing at this point. Aakaash money might be a little bit perturbed by this, demonstration right here. So where's the checkmate? I guess we play here and hope he goes here. He don't go there. So we're gonna do something like this. King to c3. And it's very difficult to see where the final mate is. Very difficult indeed. I'll have y'all know that. Where's the check? There's a thing called 50 move rule. And we might be falling into that quite soon. Alright. Enough horsing around. Pun intended. Oh man, he's out of the stable. This guy is. Does anyone know how to mate with 3 horses? I gotta make sure I don't stalemate him. This is a little bit harder than it looks with the 2-second increment. I can tell you that much. Oh, lordy lord. Christ almighty. Oh, and that is a checkmate. How many moves were we at? Okay, that was a little bit stressful. I don't think we're going to be doing that 3 horses experiment anytime soon. That was a little bit, I don't even know. I don't even know if, how close were we to a 50 move rule? Just out of curiosity. That was 119, so move 69. I hear the young kids be joking about that move 69. Oh, we still had some stuff. We last pawn move was move 80, so we had a little bit of a cushion. All right, let's play Neil Ladd. I was really galloping, you know. It was like it was the Kentucky Derby. Pawn to b3, not a horse to f6. Bishop to b2. We're going to play the old farmer's variation. Pawn to g4. And we're going to play pawn to h4. Bishop to g7, probably bishop to g2. Horse to c6. Pawn to e3. We got to protect this guy. So now we just push, right? I ain't too up to date with my farmer's variation prep. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I promise, chat. I promise throughout this entire stream, I will not be lying to y'all. I told you that Aakaash had a conflict, and I promised Aakaash that I would do my very best to not embarrass him while on his on the leadchess.org channel. So we're going to be true to ourselves. Horse to b4, horse to a3. Chat, that, I don't know how stressed y'all were, but I was about to consider, if I couldn't find the checkmate in that last game, I might have switched professions. You know, the horse farmer profession ain't an easy one. With all these bishops and everyone be talking about the bishop pair. They be talking about the bishop pair like the bishop pair is better than the horse pair. And tell that to someone that spent their entire life raising horses. You know, it's like we're an outdated breed at this point. Pawn to c4, d takes c4, b takes c4, queen following up to b3. Whew. They told me, when I told them that I wanted to be a horse farmer, a horse breeder is actually the proper term, but they told me that I was barking up the wrong tree, that bishops were all in style now. And horse to d3. Interesting predicament. So, do I just take here? I might just take here and say I want your horse, because I got 2 horses. You know what? This is me fighting for my profession. This is me fighting for my profession, fighting for my rights. Horse to f4. We got 2 horses. We've got quite a party. Bishop to e4. Okay, we're gonna play bishop to e2. You know, you don't always have to play super aggressively to play ambitiously. Common misconception, I can tell you that much. I've been in that situation one too many times. And I can tell you that the lesson learned from those games, those particular circumstances, is hold your horses. Sometimes it's all about holding your horses. Bishop to c3. King's coming to d2, and we've got a little bit of a fortress happening here. Maybe not the technical definition of a fortress, but it's a pseudo-fortress. We've got two minor pieces for the queen. Rook's coming into h8, and we've got to make something happen at this point in time. I'm going to play bishop to a5, just so we can tickle the black position a little bit. Pawn to b4, pawn to b5 is an option for sure. So king to b8, he seems like he's sniffing this stuff out, sniffing it up like a bloodhound. And I guess like I don't want to play horse to b1, but it might be imperative quite soon. I'm probably going to just play pawn to c5. Maybe try to do something here. It ain't looking too good, if I may be so blunt. Billy Ray Tucker knows some big words. You know, I did read a dictionary in my time. I've read a couple of dictionaries actually. Merriam-Webster's the one that I recommend to my friends. Queen to f5. And perhaps we have to compromise our values somewhat soon. This ain't looking so good, I must say. This ain't looking so good. Also, the time situation's a little bit of a predicament. You know, that's one of the words I remember from the dictionary. And, yeah, this ain't looking too good. It looks like the creek is rising right now. The creek is rising pretty quickly. Oh man, Neil really making me question my profession. That is a good game, Neil. Appreciate that. I guess I shouldn't really be doing too much of this stuff. Maybe I'm a little bit too in love with my horses, but you know, first love's hard to shake off, I must say. And I was a horse farmer before I met Beulah. And so if you make me question between horses and Beulah, I'm gonna take horses. Alright. Good game, Neil. Alright, let's see who else is here. Atomic, I actually am not too familiar with what Atomic is, so I'm gonna cancel that out. And standard 180 plus 0, that's a little bit too much here. We're gonna play Kusha Grab. He's got the wing. Even though that's not what I'm making my decision off of. Honestly, if any of y'all just challenge me to a blitz game, I will probably accept it. Alright, we're gonna play e5. Horse to f3. Let's play horse to f6. I wonder if he's familiar with the Stafford Gambit, as they call it nowadays, as the young kids call it nowadays. We'll see. He may be, he may not be. So bishop to c5. I don't really understand this bishop to d3 move, if I'm being quite frank. Even though my name is Billy, I can be frank. We're going to play horse to g4. Let's see how he deals with this horsing around, as they say. And pawn to h3. I'm going to play pawn to h5. And we're going to see how this works. Why not take towards the center? B takes c6, because, you know, as much of a horse farmer as I am, I do also like my bishops Don't define me in a one-dimensional way, Arcady. I do like my bishops as well. And so when we do D takes C6, we do open up this guy. That's kind of what I was thinking. Not really sure if it's modern chess theory or not, but that's how I learned. That's how I learned this beautiful game. And we're going to play probably queen to h4. I think that seems like something. It's to be determined if it's any good, but it's something. Something's better than nothing. You'd rather have a big bowl of peach custard than a big bowl of nothing. So we're going to take the peach custard, even though it's a little bit sour. It can be a little bit sour sometimes, especially if we're talking about Beulah's peach custard. I can tell you, Beulah's peach custard is something. And my opponent offers me a draw, which kind of perplexes me if I am going to be blunt. I don't really understand the draw offer. But, nah, we're going to play horse to e5. You from Alabama? Actually, I don't know where I'm from. I just, I got my farm, I got my stable, I got my stallions. I'm a man of passion. So, queen to c3, and I guess this is a little bit annoying. This is a little bit of a pickle. I do like pickles. I actually quite like pickles, but this particular pickle is a dill pickle. And dill pickles ain't really my cup of tea. So we're going to play bishop to d6 and then reevaluate the life choices we made to get into this particular position. Can it be blueberry custard instead? You know what? I like peach custard. I like blueberry custard. I like strawberry custard. I like any custard. You don't need to be too fancy with your custard repertoire to impress me. I can tell you that much. I can't tell you much, but I can tell you that much. And horse takes c4, queen takes c4, queen takes e4, and yes, we did give up one of our precious horses, but it looks like we balanced the material imbalance. I'm all about balancing them imbalances. I'm all about the yin and yangs. Queen to e4, and perhaps we play bishop to e6, and then maybe bishop to d5 in the future. It's all TBD at this point. So bishop to e6, and queen goes where? Where does queen go, we must ask Kusha Grab. Queen to c3. We'll play alongside castle. I might not have any horses anymore, so giddy up, partner, but I was a farmer since I was a child. And based off of that knowledge, I believe that I know how to use these bishops. Bishop to d5, these bishops are so menacing, And queen to g3 unfortunately falters to bishop takes g3. And rook to e2, holding on to this g2 pawn. We'll play rook here. You heard of the celebrity Aakaash Meduri? You look like that guy? Well, I know Aakaash likes to think of himself as a celebrity, but I could tell you, I've been through the grapevine with Aakaash, and Aakaash ain't no celebrity. He might like to think of himself, fancy himself that way sometimes, but I can tell you, he ain't that. He ain't that. B-Baller fan, what do you mean? I'm committed to my lifestyle. I'm committed to living the life that I have chosen. Good game, Kusha Grab. Well played, well played. Let's play me to beast. Chameleon, yes. Oh, I've actually heard of a chameleon. You know, I did mention that I have read dictionaries, but I've also read encyclopedias, and I have come across the chameleon. He was a cute little dweeb. Not to F3. I mean horse. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, chat. We're going to play bishop to G5. Play this like a Torre. Horse to F6. I guess we'll play pawn to E3. What happened with the keyboard, says Marco. Hola, Marco. The keyboard is, the keyboard's right here. It's like down here. I know you can't see it, but I trust me, there is a keyboard on this computer. So pawn to H6, bishop to H4. And if kingside castle, we're going to go over here. But queen to D6 definitely strikes me as a little bit too big for his britches. So we're going to play bishop to G3, and then we're going to play bishop to D3. And a lot of people are going to tell me, they're going to ask me, yo, Billy, why you call this the Torre? This looks like a London system. But actually, the interesting thing about this position is that the London system features a very similar pawn structure to the Torre, to the Trompovsky. All these openings are like cousins of each other. It just so happens that the London system happened to get the cutest date to the prom. So we're going to play horse to E5. And queen to D8, we get to take his horse. Probably take it with the bishop, because I do like my horses. Is that right, partner? You damn well bet it's right. So queen to D8, I guess we take the horse with the bish. We're going to have to take that horse with the bish for sure. Horse takes C6, and queen comes to D7. We'll go back to E5. And the Kali, that is very true. The Kali system is also one that features this triangular pawn structure for the white pieces. So we're going to play pawn to C4. We're breaking up the triangle, just as I mentioned it. But, you know, if you ain't willing to change up your priorities, I can't tell you what to do then. You just freestyle in life, by the sounds of it. Flying by the zipper of your pants. Pawn to C5, and we're going to take one of these guys. Okay, queen to B5 takes here. And we bring back the horse, and unfortunately for me to beast, he's facing a position with two horses. Rook to C1 takes. We can probably play this. Oh no, we can't. We gotta watch out. I hear there's wolves in this part of the country. Although I haven't met a wolf that can take out a single horse, but a pack of wolves, you gotta watch out for them. So rook A to B8, and we're gonna play this. Horse to C4. We're horsing around a little bit here. We might even horse around so far to do horse to D6. Depends. Really is all so situational at this point. Alright, horse or pawn to D5. And I could take here, but he takes my horse. So I'm going to play my horse to D6. Because if we got to get rid of the horse, we might as well get a horse for a horse. That's kind of my logical thinking right there. And yeah, we're going to take horse for a horse, and we're going to take a rook for a bish. Queen to C2. Bish to A4, queen to E4. We do give up our horse, but We're done horsing around for this game. I promise you, chat. We're done horsing around for this game. Ain't no more horses coming this game. This ain't gonna be a 3-pony game. King to G7. We can get rid of his queen, his majesty. You know, I do love Beulah, but I also love winning more than I love Beulah. G4 takes, and then we can exchange the pieces. And I believe time is on our side for once. Pawn to H5, we can take here, and then cut the king off. And then this is pretty simple. And that's checkmate. Make sure, if you're just starting, you know how to checkmate with the king and rook. I remember the first tournament I played in, I didn't know how to mate with the king and rook, and that was quite embarrassing. I had to come with my face all sullen and whatnot, come to my pops. My pops weren't none too happy, because we did study it before that. Good game to me, the beast. Appreciate your time. Okay, we're going to play this feller. How can we play against me? You can play against me by doing ! challenge. I'm using Aakaash's account right now, but he did give me permission. Is this my real accent? Of course. Think I make this up? You think I make this stuff up in my spare time? Don't I look like I have more important things to do than that? Is this my real accent? Chat, if you're going to ask me a silly question, why don't you just preface it that way? Why don't you just tell me before you ask the question, hey, this is about to be a silly question. I would really appreciate that. You know, I'm a very busy man. I've got important things. I got to balance the chat. I got to balance the game. I got to balance my stable over there. And Beulah's something right now. I can tell you. Oh my god. And I just pre-moved. What an unfortunate pre-move. I thought it was my move. And then I saw bishop f5. Chat, this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't focus on one thing at a time. You end up playing queen c2 before bishop f5 hasn't even been played. My opponent offers a draw. No, we're going to play on, partner. We are going to play on. So bishop to f5. I do appreciate the sportsmanship of mate Kanto, mate fake. However, I also do appreciate a game. I appreciate the respect that I will not accept a draw prematurely. Pawn g4. If you want premature draws, you go to Anish Giri's channel. You don't go to the LeadChess.org channel. You go to Anish Giri's channel. Okay, so bishop to d3. We're going to play horse to g3. As Wix says, this ain't no horse-drawn carriage. If you were looking for some Cinderella stuff, well, you came to the wrong channel. We're more like a Kentucky Derby type channel. Rook takes e1. And perhaps queen to d7, rook to e8 would be very prudent. However, maybe black has some different plans ahead of himself. You thought this was the Cinderella live stream? I do get that sometimes, especially with my long hair. So does Aakaash, actually, by the way. I remember he was telling me. He was telling me when we were sipping some lemon iced tea last Sunday. He was like, and I'll try to do my best impression of Aakaash's voice. And so apologies if it ain't quite on point, but he was like, dude, for whatever reason, when I am watching the YouTube replays of asking, why does this girl have a beard? And to that, I'd just say, you know what? Not every man can be a lion. And so, not every man can be a lion, and so they're just not really well accustomed to the long hair. So pawn to a4, and at least we got this bish. We made some progress for sure. However, it is far from a comfortable situation. I can tell you that much. Probably play king to f2, but then bishop to h6, and then we are questioning the life decisions that we made. And I already do enough of that. Oh man, I do quite a bit of that. But actually, we could probably take here and then queen e1, knight to f1. So we're going to try it. I do a really good Aakaash impression. Thank you so much, Duke Sense. Aakaash is a beloved member of my community. You know. I know people question if we are the same person sometimes, but I can tell you very much. We're just brothers. We're brothers from another mother, as they like to say sometimes. So knight to f1, pawn takes b5. We're going to play rook e2. And then we are going to figure out what black's going to do. I think queen to h4 is the only move that he's got. Oh, but he takes. And he's probably going to play rook a2. So he wants a bishop or he wants a horsey. And chat, as you know very well, I have a particular affliction to my horsies. So he ain't getting one of those horsies, even if it costs us the game. Horse to g3, rook to b2, horse to e3, rook to b3, horse to c2. I don't know why I'm saying the moves. Y'all can just see them. King to h2. And this ain't looking too comfortable. Wow. Mate Kanto is quite the enterprising opponent. King to g1, and we take here. So it's going to be kind of difficult with just two horses. Usually we want three. Oh man, by the skin of our teeth. By the skin of our teeth. That was quite close. I hope Mate Kanto, Mate Fake just understands that, you know, I just played it on because it was an unrated game. But if it was a rated game and you offer me that draw, I'm taking that. I am taking that. But I reckon he appreciates it. Good game, Mate Kanto. Alright. So we're going to play C4 Slayer next, because that name is quite distinct. Pawn to C4, he's a C4 Slayer. That's quite the paradox. Okay, so we're going to play C5. If he's a C4 Slayer, he's probably a C5 Slayer. And I do like some competition. Horse to F3, horse to F6. Pawn to G3, pawn to G6. We're going to just mirror him for a little bit. How old am I? Mirax, I would love to hear what you think before I say that. Cause I just like to hear the predictions first. A lot of people ask me this. They're oftentimes quite surprised when they hear how old I actually am, but just do me the favor and just well, if I was 12, I actually could not be streaming on Twitch. I can tell you that. You got to read those TOS. So bishop to f4, and I would love to play pawn to d6, but this pawn is quite tender right now. This pawn is softer than a hen about to lay her eggs. So queen to b6 first. Oh, it's Mira. My bad. I saw the X and I was like, Mirax. 26, but in horse years. Well, common misconception, we've all heard of dog years, but horse years are actually a myth. Horses actually age at the same rate as us people do. What's with the fake accent? What do you mean, Pawnilla? My name's Billy Ray Tucker. My name's not Aakaash, even though we get this all the time. Pawn to a4. Now we play this. The hen's gotta lay her eggs, but you gotta support the hen before they do. I see a couple predictions about the chronology of my time on this planet. So queen takes c4, and perhaps we play d5 next. Pawn to e4, and we're going to play bishop to e6. Jolo, you might think that this is an accent, but this is just who I am. Do I have an old Dodge Charger? I'm more of a Chevy guy. I did have a Ford pickup for a little while. I never had Dodge, but always buy American. Always buy American. Chevy, Ford, Dodge. Is Buick American? Buick sounds American. I mean, Beulah's American, and Buick ain't too far from Beulah. Exactly. Disc of Accretion can tell you. He can confirm. So queen takes b3. We're going to do rook takes b3 so we can get the other rook in on the b file. And pawn to e5. We probably play horse to e8. Exactly, Patchy. You know exactly how it is. And we can take a free horse, I do pride myself on the horses that I breed, but I will take a free horse if I see one. I will definitely take a free horse if I see one. Good game to C4 Slayer. Appreciate the game. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're doing pretty well. I believe Neil did take us out, but for the most part, we ain't doing too bad. Okay, we'll play Yogi Joshi. How's it going, Chaser? What is your question exactly? 1 second, chat. 1 second. Beulah. Beulah. What you want, Beulah? I told you. You gotta brush their hair before the big race. Come on, Beulah. How many times do I gotta repeat myself? It's pretty straightforward. You married a horse farmer for a reason. We'll have this argument later. I apologize for that, chat. Highly unprofessional for Beulah to come interrupting there. I mean, you would think that Beulah knows the routine, but it feels like every single time we just go into this cycle like it's a Ferris wheel, and we're at the top, and then we're at the bottom, we're at the top, we're at the bottom. I've been to a Ferris wheel once before at the county fair. It's pretty fun. I can recommend that. Who's Beulah? Who's Beulah? Beulah's this beautiful Southern belle. She's a little bit thick in the head area, but she's a beautiful Southern belle. I met her in 9th grade, and we've been married since 10th. So, y'all know based off of that I am at least in 10th grade. Queen to c8. You think that Beulah's a dog or a cat? How dare you, Marco? Or a mouse. Okay, we take here. We take those. We will definitely take those. Bish to g5. He's threatened. He's tempting me to play horse to f6. I really don't want to, though. I really don't want to. We're going to play pawn to a5. Alright, pawn to a5. Queen to a3. Still putting some pressure on this e7 pawn, it looks like. So I guess I should not play knight to h6. That would probably be the very worst move I can play in the position, given the checkmate in one. So we're going to play pawn to h6. I got to keep this horse. Pawn to h6, and then bishop comes to f4, maybe comes to e3, maybe d2. Chat, I hear there's a couple new features on Lichess. Puzzle Racer, Puzzle Battle. No, that's chess.com. Puzzle Streak. Maybe we can do some Puzzle Racer after this. I would love some Puzzle Racer, you know. They used to say that I had the strongest tactical mind in the county. But it's been a while. It's been some time. I'm a little bit rustier than I used to be in my younger days. And that was a perfect demonstration of that. I just hung that pawn. Y'all use Puzzle Racer in your college chess class? That's fun. That's fun. You getting the blue ribbon? How many times you won, Marco? Horse to d5. And probably horse to c6 to follow it up. Oh, he takes the horse. Yogi Joshi takes one of the horses. That does not make me too happy. So horse to f4. We're not going to do nothing about it. Alright, horse to f4. Let's see if he lets us take that pawn on g2. Problem is pawn to g3, horse to h5, and the horse on the rim is a little bit grim, a little bit dim, depending on what part of the world you are. It goes by dim or grim. Marco won every time because he was the only one playing on it. Oh man, that burns more than the 2 shots of whiskey I had right before coming on here. Because y'all might not realize this. Oh man, bishop takes g4 was just easy peasy. Y'all might not realize this, but when Aakaash asked me to fill in for him very last minute, as I must say, I get a little bit stage fright. You know, I don't do too much of this public presentations, public speaking. So I did have to take 2 shots of whiskey before I got here, and those burned more than I don't even know. This burns more than Beulah's insults to me before I came on. She's like, "What you doing?" Bishop takes horse, pawn takes bish. How's it going, chess mining? Hope you're having a great, fantastic day. Pawn to b5. Let's see where this bish go. And bish takes f7, king takes f7, rook to f1, pawn to g5. Seems quite promising. More promising than the crop, the harvest that's coming up this season. I'll tell you, this global warming. Y'all might hear some people saying that it ain't real. I can tell you, firsthand, there ain't nothing realer than it. One of the most important problems we got to solve. You notice I'm acting weird? I don't really know what you're saying. Bishop takes h3, and bishop's going back to g4. Oh, but that's a free rook. That's definitely a free rook. And horse to e4, and of course that ain't going to work no more. Oh man, I should be a singer-songwriter. Horse to g5, and I believe this horse is lost from the stable. And this is going to be GG. Rook to f8, takes. Oh, we can just take. We're going to cut the king off. King here. Rook here. Take this, pre-move it. Checkmate. That would be the ladder's checkmate. Do I give beer to the horses? Disc of accretion. You must attend my seminar. You must have attended my seminar. Good for you. Alright, Cheery 14. What's good, Epic Ninja 400? How's it going, buddy? I actually never met a real ninja, but they do have a couple costumes in the town store. Why am I a horse farmer? I am not drunk, Marco. I promise you that much. I am 100% sober. I got the coolest backgrounds on Leechess. Thank you so much, Dance With Me and Cutie. By the way, that is a very great name. What state am I from? Asks Mira. Actually, I can't really give you a clear answer on that. I don't really believe in the whole state thing anymore. I am a citizen of this world. I ain't even going to say country. I'm a citizen of planet Earth, just like all y'all. Except the aliens that are watching here. Better watch out for them aliens. Those aliens will get you. They got these flying saucers. They got the UFOs. Alright, pawn to d6. We're going to play pawn to e4. Pawn to e4, not horse to f6, probably bishop to d3, although I do really want to continue practicing this bishop to g2. I am a horse farmer, but I do like myself a fianchettoed bishop. So it looks like we are making a late transposition to the Benko gambit. Quite interesting. And perhaps after bishop takes a6, we play knight to e2, bishop to g2, and we go over here. And I reckon that that's pretty good for white. I do reckon it, but I have not studied the chessable course on this particular position. But it do look pretty as a peach. It do look pretty as a peach. But I must say though that the Benko gambit, you can't underestimate it. Benko gambit's pretty tricky. Benko gambit, I once heard from a friend of mine who is the champion of the county next door from me. Benko gambit's slicker than a pig snot on a radiator. So you don't want to be too you can't be too careful against the Benko gambit. Alright, so rook to b8, rook f to b8 if I'm being precise with my notations, queen to c2, and there's some pressure for sure that black has. There's definitely some pressure going on here. Queen to c2, and we've got some problems potentially on the pawns on e4 and d5, but I believe as long as we play something like rook to d1, perhaps rook to d1, because if the horse comes into e5, we want to protect this d3 square. I believe that's how it should be done. So horse to c7, and maybe bishop to e3. Bishop to e3 look alright. Bishop takes e2, queen takes. And I guess he gets rid of both of my horses, which can only spell bad news. Unless you don't want to. Oh, he goes that way. Clever guy this guy is. Enterprising individual. Queen to b7, bishop a1, rook a1, rook b8, queen to c6, and then knight to e5. Don't look too... it don't look like blueberry custard to me, so we're going to play queen to c2. And we're going to accept the fact that we don't have our two horses. Now, modern chess theory would suggest that the bishop pair is better than the horse pair, but chess is not just a game of calculation. It ain't just a game of science. I always tell people, chess is a game of love. Chess is a game of love. And so, if you don't love the position you got, then you gotta do something about it. You're learning a lot, Mira. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. And, you know, my days of teaching chess are long gone since I did become a professional horse farmer. But I do like to sprinkle some droplets of wisdom, just like my grandma liked to sprinkle that powdered sugar on her delicious lip-smacking apple pie. So rook to b1 and horse to b4 is interesting. It's interesting, and I don't know if I would take it, even though it is a horse. But we're going to play it a little bit slower. Chess is definitely a game of love, chess mining. You know it. You know it. So we're going to play bishop to b5, horse to b6, and perhaps we play bishop to c6. It's quite possible. So horse to e5, we're going to play pawn to f4, and horse comes into f3, so we ain't going to play pawn to f4. Gotta hold your horses sometimes, even though if you don't have any. Even when you don't have any horses, you can hold them. So, horse to c7. We're going to play pawn to f4 now. And takes. That's all good. That's all nice and dandy. And, I do quite like this move, queen to b2. I can't really put my finger on why, but I do like it. So, horse to b6. And he's definitely eyeing this horse to c4 kind of idea, this concept. So we're going to play queen to c3 now. And that ain't really what I wanted to see, if I may be so blunt. So we're going to play this. And perhaps break through here. I really did want to do something more on this this long diagonal, especially with the presence of the bish. Dark square bish is quite good, but sometimes you don't get everything that you want to get, and you just gotta adapt like a chameleon. I remember reading that in that encyclopedia. Chameleons change colors and whatnot. So queen to b2. Queen to a7, we're going to take here. And I really do want to take here, but I cannot tell you if it's the right move. So we're going to express some patience for a change. Perhaps rook to f2, just to cover up against this stuff. And then now we play here, maybe. Knight to a4 would lose the queen, so knight to c8 seems to be advisable. And then rook to a4, bishop to c3. We got a pounce here, and that would be checkmate. Good game, Cree 14. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll be here the whole week. Good game, well played. Chess is the game which you learn that violence is never the answer. It depends. It depends. Good game, good game. You didn't see that checkmate? Well played, Chaser. That was good. And good stuff with rook takes b2, followed by bishop takes c3. I'm actually not that familiar with how to play against the Benko, and I think that your move transposition was quite interesting. Chat, I am going to use the loo for a minute, and I will be right back. So do stay tuned. Do stay tuned. I'll put Lee Chess TV on for a second while I'm in the loo. And Ali Reza 2003 is playing, so we got some good company here. Beulah, you fixed those horses' hair? You better have. Alright. We'll get back to the challenges. Sorry, I had to just confer with Beulah for a minute. Just for a minute. Alright, we got Tabin Charcha playing the white pieces. We are going to play the bird, f4. I did say I'm a horse farmer, but I do also like birds. I do appreciate bird farming. Bird sightseeing, I mean. So, queen to h4. We're going to play this. I don't really think queen to h4 is a move there. So, knight to f3. And it looks like we got a Leningrad bird. Bishop to g2. Leningrad bird with a slight waste of tempo. So this became Fromm's Gambit, Leningrad bird. I don't even know what to call it no more. We're going to play e3, pawn to e3. Bishop to f5. And I believe, I do firmly believe that this f-file is a little bit weak. This is the interesting thing about the bird's opening. Anyone know what the bird's opening is named after? I assume it's the animal, but it could be a person. I think we should get rid of all opening names and then name them cooler stuff. Well, you must not have heard of the pterodactyl variation, the hyper-accelerated pterodactyl. Also the hyper-accelerated dragon, close cousin of the pterodactyl. Henry Bird. So it wasn't named after the animal. What a shame that is. I know Aakaash is trying to come up with his Chinese zodiac opening repertoire, and I believe he was operating under the assumption that it was named after an animal. So, if it's named after a person, you know, Chinese zodiac don't need people in it. It needs more animals. They make you want to play them even if they're bad. Well, I do have some experience with the pterodactyl variation, so I can play a couple games with it. I wouldn't call myself an expert. I'm more of a horse specialist, but I can dabble, you know. Got to throw some marmalade into the lemonade every once in a while. So rook from A to E1, and you know, as long as I ain't sweating more than a hooker in church, I believe that this position should be quite all right for the white pieces. So queen to E6, and he is threatening to do knight takes E3, which I gotta be a little bit vigilant about. So probably play E4. And then we're threatening this. And it does also relieve some of the pressure on this E3 square, which can not be understated. I mean, we don't want that to be a long-term weakness. That would be quite uncomfortable. Dasteg Denet Drin. I actually did not study acting. I studied agriculture, but I didn't do me no good. I mean, I do got some tomato plants. I do got some corn crop, but for the most part, it's mainly horses. It's really mainly horses. So queen to G6, and we're going to put the pawn here. Probably put the pawn here just in case bishop b4 gets a little bit, you know, I am one that believes that a little bit of tension is good in life, but in this particular case, I do want to keep that horse on c3. Have I ever heard the saying, it ain't no fun when the rabbit's got the gun? Oh, yeah. My old granddad used to tell me that one, disc of accretion. It ain't no fun when the rabbit's got the gun. How did I get my background on Lichess like that? I mean, it ain't too hard. It really ain't too hard, Mira. You just gotta, you know, you gotta be certified as a farmer, and I believe Lichess will automatically do it. So horse to d5. Gotta put the horse at the center of the board, although we did just blunder a pawn, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Hello 21 to loneliness, welcome to the stream. I am subbing for the regular Aakaash Meduri, Aakaash Money. I don't know how he pronounces his name. Sometimes I hear Aakaash, sometimes I hear Aakaash. He sometimes calls himself Aakaash, but you know, Aakaash is just easiest for most people. But I'm subbing for him. My name is Billy Ray Tucker, and I am a horse farmer. You know, I did petition Lichess to give me the FM title for Farming Master, but, you know, I would have had to log on to my account, and we got to use this petty Aakaash's NM title. But I do like to think of myself as an FM. Knight to h4 looks kind of interesting. Oh, did I say knight? I meant horse. Horse to h4. Queen to h6. We can take here. Horse takes. And it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. So queen to h6 takes, and probably horse takes. And then we're going to play pawn to h3 just to cover this g4 square. And rook to d7, we're going to play rook to e8, check. I know we don't always have to say check, especially in this digital day and age when sometimes the computer says check before you. But I like to do it out of a sense of tradition, a sense of purpose. If we can't say check anymore, if we can't do the polite thing for our opponents, what are we even here for? Horse to f5. Horse to g5 is probably coming. Pawn to h4. We gotta kick this horse away. And Taubin unfortunately does flag. The 1 second increment wasn't enough. But I think if he plays horse to f7, the dance ain't over quite yet. But it's getting a little uncomfortable just because of the space advantage that the white pawns have established. Plus the horse on d5 ain't nothing to frown at. Horse on d5 is pretty as a peach if I have anything to say about it. Good game, Tobin. Appreciate it. And let's see. I saw Mira in the chat, so we're gonna play Mira. You got any Dogecoin? I don't got any Dogecoin, but I got a couple Doges. Oh yeah, for sure. You just feel free to send the challenge, !challenge to loneliness. Good luck, Mira. I will try to go easy on you. I'm gonna play the Dutch. Who is better, Aakaash or Billy Ray Tucker? Asks Marco. Well, it's, we go back and forth. I'd say it's about 50-50. Hard to really say. Yeah, if you just use the !challenge command in chat, you will get to a challenge. So pawn to c4. We'll play the classical Dutch. Beulah, you got those horses ready? We got an important race tomorrow. Beulah, you listening to me? Chat. I don't know if Beulah's... We gotta take her to the doctor. We gotta take her to the hospital. I feel like her hearing is more lost than those chickens that day the wolf came. Anon581 says that the Dutch is quite tricky to play. I definitely concur with that one. Dutch can be quite the bish to play. Pawn to b6, bishop to e2, bishop to b7, and we'll probably get the horse to e4 at the risk of exchanging it. But perhaps before we do that, we play pawn to d6, and then we get the horse to d7, followed by horse to e4. That sounds mighty dandy, Marco. The lolly against me? I am not too familiar with the lolly, but then again, I was never known, similar to Aakaash, I was never known as an opening theoretician, even in my heyday. Alright, horse to d7, horse to e4 coming up. Marco, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. Horse to e4. Bishop to e7, queen to e7, horse here. Pawn takes. And actually, this horse is stuck if he takes. So Mira wisely avoids capturing on e4. Horse to e4. Maybe I do horse to e4. I could do f takes e4, but I do like horse to e4. It's more principled. Alright. Let's see what Mira's thinking here. Also, one has to be a little bit careful in these positions because this f2 pawn can be a little bit tender. More tender than the chickens that I'm raising in the coop. That's for damn sure. So we'll play queen to f7. Horse can take, and I'll probably take with pawn. I won't take with the other horse. I promise y'all that. I talk a big game about how I love my horses, but sometimes I feel like I'm not delivering on my promises. So y'all can very well be confident in me delivering in my promises this game. Pawn to g5. Pawn to g5, queen to g6, rook to e8, and then maybe we've got a break. Will I ever get out of it? I mean, is it really an accent if this is actually how I talk? Because, That's the real question, Dastag. That's the real question that you have to ask yourself. I guess I could move to another country. But then again, I don't believe in countries. As I said, I don't believe in states. I do believe in counties because of the community, the communal aspect that's built up from them. And plus, I am a county champion. But countries, we're just all residents of this planet. And that's why climate change, global warming, all that jazz, y'all gotta make sure that we pay attention to it, I ain't as old as I look, but I want my kids to have home. Horse to d5, pawn to c4. I think that's unfortunately going to be a mistake for Mira because of the primary consideration that this bishop on b5 is actually out of the game now. And so if Mira wants to unlock that bishop, would have to sacrifice it. The pawn on c4. So, and Mira does do that, so we do go that route. Bishop to c4. Probably rook to e8. I don't need to be too impatient at this point. Did I play the Rapid Arena? Ask the Go official. I did not play the Rapid Arena. And I know that Aakaash did not play the Rapid Arena either. I know he did say that, but you know that fella. We all know Aakaash. He means well, but he don't always fulfill on his promises. Alright, so rook to d1. And then how to proceed is the question that we must ask ourselves. Perhaps we play queen here, but actually that's not possible because the king is pinned. The queen is pinned to the king. So we're going to play this, and we'll see how it works. Exactly, chess mining. Sounds like you came to the right channel. Alright, so horse takes d3, queen takes d3. And I don't really know what's the best way to approach this particular situation, so we're going to bring the king in. Can't be scared to get your hands a little bit dirty. And queen takes d3, rook takes d3, followed by perhaps bishop b7, but it ain't exactly a stroll through the rose patch. No, it ain't. But oh man, I thought Mira was going to play rook to d1. Instead, Mira goes rook to c1 and tricks me. That was quite the wizardry, and it looks like from quite the good position, quite the rose garden we had, we are all of a sudden in this little bit of a predicament. And rook to e3, quite a good move. And Mira, oh man, Mira had rook takes, king takes, rook takes, and that would have been quite a lot of pawns up, but unfortunately the time pressure was Mira's downfall. Good game, Mira. Yeah, what I was saying right there, after rook to e3, king d6, you want to make sure that you inject this intermediate move. Rook takes d5, king takes d5, rook takes e8. And then it's 4 pawns to 3 pawns, so still could potentially be a draw, but you're the one pushing, obviously. Good game, good game. Alright, let's see. Smuis. Alright. Good luck to Smuis. I'll try to play the stuff I'm working on. I'm working on this with Aakaash, actually. He turned me on to this chessable course. The Catalan by Grandmaster Srinath Narayanan. And you know, I'm not one to copy off of Aakash's repertoire, but you know, we like to spar every once in a while. So let's see how good of an Aakaash impression I can make here. I believe this is like the Tarash version, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Aakaash didn't tell me what to do here. In fact, who knows if Aakaash even knows what to do here? Yeah, folding under pressure is it's kind of tough, especially with the increment. If you're not comfortable playing off the increment, it can be a little bit difficult. Anon. That Aakaash dude sounds like a nice guy. We should do a collab. Well, I promised Aakaash that I would never be seen on screen with him at the same time. So I don't think it's going to be easy for a collab to happen anytime soon. Maybe I could do one where he's on video and I'm on audio. That way we're not on the same screen at the same time. I reckon that could work. That might be able to work, but I would really prefer if we were doing like just an audio only thing, you know. That would be a little bit easier, more feasible. So bishop to e6. Do we play horse to b5? Or do we play bishop to g5 and grab his horse? I'm feeling like we grab his horse. Smuis is freaking out here. Says in the chat. Alright, bishop to e7. And I guess we can probably play rook to d1, maybe rook to c1. We'll just play this a little bit slowly. We'll try to play it classy. Billy Ray Tucker is also fun and a solid chess player. Why, thank you, Chess Mining. You're gonna make me blush. You know, I don't blush easily, especially the tan that I've gotten recently, but I am blushing underneath this tan. So pawn to a3, pawn to b4, or horse to a4, horse to c5. That seems like a path forward. And pawn to h6, perhaps we play bishop to h4, or bishop to f4, provoking this horse to h5, and then maybe then we go bishop to d2. Maybe then we go bishop to d2. Zuki, this is just exactly how I speak. Who looks better, Billy Ray or Aakaash? I don't know. Honestly, we might need to do a poll. I might be able to set up a poll here because I do have Aakaash's mod privileges, but we might need to do a poll to figure this one out. This is harder than a Kasparov position in Jacob Agard's calculation book. Rook to c1. Where am I from? I'm always asking myself that one, Rishi. That is a question I'm perpetually asking myself. Not just where am I from, but where do I want to go from here? So we're going to do queen takes c4, d takes c4, rook takes here, bishop takes b7. And notice that rook b8 ain't possible because the bishop do guard b8. So we do bishop takes b7. We need a Billy Ray Tucker versus Aakaash classical face-off. We actually only play blitz against each other. Sometimes an occasional bullet game. But Aakaash did recently retire from bullet temporarily. I don't reckon it's going to be a long-term thing, but he said he needs to get to classical or rapid 2500. Man, that dude's a fool. 2336 right now. He thinks he can just get 2500. He thinks he could stroll on in there like it's the local pub. Well, I'll tell you, 2500 lead chess rapid ain't so easy. He might have it in him, but if he's saying that he's just going to retire till he hits 2500 rapid, y'all might not see him play bullet for some time. So bishop to c3, and we are up not just a single pawn, we're up 2 pawns. So pawn to f5, we'll play rook to c6, And king to h5, perhaps we do this, but he goes king to f7, and ooh, looks like time is going to be a little bit of a factor here, so gotta hurry up. I've been dilly-dallying my entire life. It's time to change something. Oh, but that was free too. And we can make Beulah appear on the board. You know, I think Aakaash should be back in about 20 minutes, actually. If his, I know he ain't one to follow through on all his promises, but he should be making it back here by 9. So maybe we can have we might be able to do something. The flannel wins the contest. Oh, this is just something I pulled from my closet. Do Billy Ray want to play against Dastag? Sure, we can play. Alright, let's see how this works. Dastag's Denet Drin. I've never learned. I see that name in the Twitch chat, and I still don't know how to pronounce it. I guess we can do a Stafford. It looks like he's asking for it. Actually, we're going to change it up. We're going to play horse to c6 instead of horse to f6, and bishop to b5. We're going to play pawn to f5. The Yanish or what's the other? Schliemann, right? Is the Schliemann? I know there's the Yanish. Rhymes with maltodextrin. Oh, we got some sweeties in the chat, it looks like. So queen to e2, we play bishop to c5, maybe. Does Billy Ray want to play against Codeson? Because Codeson will go to bed in the next few minutes. Where's Codeson? Y'all just need to send me the challenge. Use the exclamation mark challenge. I don't see Codeson here. Alright, let's see if I pay the price for not protecting my pawns too well. Alright, horse to c3, we'll play pawn to d6. I guess it's time to protect that pawn on e5. And bishop to g5. Looks like he's trying to do something with my horse. And Dastag must have heard that I'm not too happy with getting rid of my horses. I do like to hold my horses, but not in the same way that you might think. Not in the patience way. In the materialistic way. My horses are my life. That's just how it is. That's just how I grew up. That's how I was raised. Can't just change myself on demand. And we're going to try to do something like maybe this move. Pawn to g5, knight to take, pawn to take. And probably here, queen to e8. And bishop to c4 is quite interesting for sure. Quite interesting indeed. Bishop to e6. Yeah, we'll go here. I'm not 100% sure if it's good, but it's something. Gotta hold on to the ponies. Gotta hold on to the horses. And I guess I could get rid of one of my horses. I probably should get rid of one of them. I'll get rid of one of them. Put the horse to d4. And we're gonna go to f4. Bishop to h4. This looks pretty good. Queen to h5. And unfortunately, bishop to g3 looks a little bit desperate, and we will give up the horse for the queen. You know, sometimes, I mean, I am a horse farmer, so I got other horses in the stable. Alright, we'll play rook takes here. And queen. Oh, this is almost a flag. Flag might be coming up. But yeah, this would be probably GG. Good game, Dastag. Well played, well played. Alright, alright. Man, everyone's just asking for these games. Alright, where's Codeson? I do see Codeson. We'll play Codeson. Alright, but 4 plus 5 is quite the strange time control for sure. So we will try to play this quickly. I don't normally accept 4 plus 5. I don't know why I accepted it. Balam Hadsa, I will try to get to every game I can. Aakaash, I believe when he gets back, he might be, his appetite might be to play some of y'all, because I know he hasn't played any chess yet today, and he's probably itching to get some games, so y'all can wait a little bit longer, and then Aakaash will be back. So pawn to e3, I don't remember how to play against the Exchange Slav. I never really knew in the first place. Exchange Slav is one of those openings that are just really quite a nightmare if you don't know what you're doing. Alright, bishop to d6. Let's see. So for those of y'all that are wondering, what we'll probably do at the end of this is when Aakaash comes back, we'll probably raid to his channel, and y'all could probably play him there. I know he's missed the opportunity to stream on the LeeChess.org channel, but you know, y'all have me. I'm not quite Aakaash, but I'm a second-rate replacement, not third-rate, second-rate. So, f takes g6. Why did we do f takes g6? Why did we exchange away from the center? Well, the reason in this particular position is that we wanted to open up this f-file. And it looks like there might be something happening on the f-file very soon. So, you know, gotta keep our options open. And bishop takes d6, queen takes d6. And queen b3 will probably play b5 just to make sure we don't hang anything. Let's see. These positions are usually a little bit difficult to play for both sides. Pawn to f4. Looks like Codeson is a man on a mission. Or a ma'am on a mission. I should not just say man. It could be a ma'am. Oh, but Codeson. That would be a free queen. The horse is still eyeing that square. G? Maybe. Let's see. We'll see. Knight takes e3. Let's see if Codeson still wants to dance. Am I from the south? I don't know where I'm from. I'm from Earth, Arvin. I am a resident of this planet, as I assume are you, unless you're one of those aliens from a UFO. And queen to f2, king to h1, queen takes g2 will be checkmate. Good game, Codeson. Well played. Well played. How's it going, Nick Zach? This is my first time on Twitch. My name is Billy Ray Tucker. If you're looking for Aakaash actually ain't here. How's it going, NM Hungary? How's it going? Hello, would Billy Ray be kind enough to play Luis Alfredo Pontes? Maybe. I'm just kind of taking these randomly, to be honest. I guess I'll take you. Balaram Harsha, I believe you should probably send a slightly quicker challenge. 5+3 is a lot. We got to get through more games. I'll play Luis Alfredo. I sound like a redneck. Well, that's because I am a proud redneck, the way I assume you're using the term. So d4, d5, bishop to g5. You know, the interesting thing about some of these d4 sidelines is the fact that you oftentimes develop the bishops before you develop the horses. Very antithetical to the common meta of opening theory. We always hear, I heard when I was a young little boy, you move your horses before your bishops. And frankly speaking, in this particular scenario, you want to move the bishops before you want to move the horses. So after c4, d takes c4, I would love to play horse to c3. Problem is perhaps horse to b4, and he's asking me what am I doing with my horse. So I'm going to play queen to a4 first. So we're going to play queen to a4 just to protect this square. And then probably do bishop takes c4, horse to c3. And, you know, this is like homecoming all over again. Bishop takes c4. And we must add that if Luis is not too careful, there are some potential problems with his position, but it's all to be determined at this point. Can't be too much of an oracle. Bishop to h4. Bishop to h4 over bishop to f4, just because I want to keep an eye out on this pawn. Who said I was from Georgia, T. Kelly? That sounds like an assumption that you're making. Alright, pawn to f6. Horse to c3. Horse takes, b takes. Black will be able to get e5 in eventually, but I feel like this awkward development can't really help him. Especially after playing f6, you know, this king has some problems finding its final destination. D12 Loftus asks, you don't always talk like this? I thought I've watched your stream before. Well, you probably are confusing me with Aakaash, to be honest. So pawn to e5 runs into this, and I believe that's just a free horse. Horse takes, pawn takes. Isn't there a rule never to play f6? Yeah, I mean, that would be something that Ben Feingold, who is actually from Georgia, would say. Alright, pawn takes c3, and I don't really know what Luis is going to be able to do with his horse. Might as well prepare the burial site before. Pawn to b5 doesn't work, unfortunately. Queen takes d5, bishop takes c6. And that's about to be a wrap. Bishop takes c6. And queen d7 runs into this. And how are we going to proceed? I'll just check and then figure it out. Move first, think later, as a fella by the name of Willie Hendricks once said. Pawn to h4. Pawn to h5. I guess I could just do bishop takes e5. Followed by bishop to f4. Pawn to g5. Queen takes f6 is checkmate. Good game, Luis. Appreciate the game, fella. Yeah, just be careful about moving f6 and all that jazz. I sound like you, and you're from Georgia? That's pretty cool. I might be from Georgia, I might not be. Bruce Wayne 2900, what's up, fella? How's it going? I'm Billy Ray Tucker. I don't know if I met you before, but Bruce Wayne, I believe that is the name of Batman, ain't it? Alright. So we'll play this game, and then we will see if Aakaash is ready to get back on stream. Yeehaw! What a game! All right, we'll play the Queen E6 variation. Thank you very much, Concourse. Queen to E6 check. Most people are familiar with Queen to A5 or Queen to D6, but Queen to E6 is a possibility. I ain't going to say it's the best move I've ever seen in my entire life, but it's something. So, knight from G to E2. I can't say I've really ever seen that one. So we're going to play knight to C6. And I'm probably going to regret knight to C6, to be honest. But, you know, I've had a lot of regrets in my life. And what I tell myself, if I could go back in time, if I could go into the future, gotta take it one step at a time. The past is kind of an illusion. All that we have is the present. Future's in our imagination as well. Only thing that we got is the present. Takes, and then I probably want to play this move. Queen to H6. Aakaash ain't as good as Billy. I'll make sure to pass that on to him. I bet he's going to get a kick out of that one. I do reckon. Alright, bishop takes h3. Can we get some more yeehaws in the chat? We're nothing without our past, but our past just builds our identity. It ain't the truth. It ain't the truth of the current moment. You know? You might have had a bad breakup. You might have failed your exam. You might have gotten fired from your job. But the reality of the situation is, you know, I'm a horse farmer. And if I decide I want to be a rocket scientist tomorrow, I can choose. Not even tomorrow. I got to choose it today. I don't got to be a horse farmer my entire life. I could change. We can all change. So, Queen to H7. And everyone always talks poorly about the Scandi. The dirty Scandi. But we've got quite a dirty Scandi here. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out, though. Billy is wise. Thank you very much, Vino. I do like to think of myself as an amateur philosopher sometimes, but you know, with mixed results. You know how it is when you try to be like Socrates or Aristotle. I think that's the pronunciation. I ain't never watched a documentary on Aristotle, but I do remember seeing that name in my encyclopedias that I love reading. And I really do love this position. So we're going to play knight to d4. Not to d4. King to e4 is forced. And I think we can castle queenside quite safely. And unfortunately for Balaram Harsha, this is checkmate. Pawn to f5. And that's why you don't mess with the dirty Scandi. Chat, if y'all learn one thing from today, actually I'll give you two. I'll give you some extra credit. Number one, respect the horses. Number two, if you're playing the dirty Scandi against the dirty Scandi, beware. Beware. So M-Bape of chess. Unfortunately Billy Ray Tucker is done for tonight, but Aakaash will be coming back soon. He will be here very shortly. I did get good word from him. He just did send me a text message that he is down to play some more of the lovely viewers of this stream. So we're probably going to raid his channel and then figure it out. I will send in the chat if y'all want to check out his channel. I believe the exclamation mark streamer should be working, but if it ain't working, then y'all will see the channel very shortly. I guess before we wrap this up, as Billy Ray, I would love to do a puzzle racer if anyone is in the mood. So we're going to make a puzzle racer real quick. Herding them horses real good here, partner. I agree. That's how you know that I am a authentic horse farmer. So if anyone would like to join, just use the link in the chat. I am on Aakaash's Twitch account, so let's have some fun. Should probably move this a little bit so y'all can see it. Alright. Horse tactic, my favorite. That's another horse tactic. Take the rook. Checkmate. Checkmate. Take the bish. Take here. Win the bish. Checkmate. Take here. Win the bish. Queen check. Take with horse. Take the rook. And probably to f6. F6 looks quite tempting. More tempting than that apple custard pie that Beulah was making before. I'm actually excited to get that apple custard pie very shortly. So horse to d4. And queen to here. And we take the queen. Knight here. And then we got a ladder's mate. And I think we just move king to f2. We can take that free rook. Horse to d8. And we'll take here. King here. We don't want to take with the rook. So we can get this. And we can get this. And we can get this horse. I couldn't solve that last problem. I wonder what this last problem is. Well, let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. So, I guess I did get first. Good game to everyone. 61 points. Sushant 777 in second place with 45. T-Twee 2 in third place with 42. Harish Gundam in fourth with 36, and Anon 581, Me the Beast, Agne 202524, D Bronner, and Rylsey coming in as the caboose, but we all love the caboose. Good games. Good games, everyone. Alright, so I believe Aakaash is ready to hop in to the stream. So we are going to set up the raid to his channel. Give me 1 second. Let me set that up. I believe I have the instructions manual on how to do just exactly that. So, 1 second. Alright, I believe if we just type raid here, it should work. And chat, if you have been waiting for a game, just hop into that other channel. Billy Ray Tucker will not be playing, but if anyone else would like to play a game, I'm sure Aakaash will be delighted to play. Alright, guys. Until next time, I don't know how much Billy Ray Tucker is going to be on the LeechS.org stream, but I do appreciate your time. And please do, if you are not sure of what the !patron command is, please do check that out. LeechS is a registered French nonprofit, and the reason why y'all have the best chess server in the world is because of generous patrons. So do consider doing that. Alright, y'all. I will see you later, and please do enjoy Aakaash's stream. Peace.